All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. We have Sam Ball here with us today. This is Juice GC podcast. We're just gonna have a conversation, as always, guys. Welcome, welcome. How are you, man?
I've been pretty good. How are you?
Good, good. Another day, another day. Can't complain.
Yeah. It's all good.
So, man, a lot of stuff going on in the world, and today we're gonna talk about some YouTube strategies and marketing strategies, kind of deal.
Ooh, exciting.
Yeah, yeah. So you have some experience in that. What do you like
Oh,
about that stuff, man?
a little bit. Well, I mean, I was a Twitch streamer before you were a Twitch streamer, but then I did the thing that you didn't do where I got extremely burnt out.
Yeah.
Uh, I streamed significantly too much and got burnt out, but I don't know. It's just the streaming part is a little stressful sometimes, like having to go live at 9 p.m. every day or whatever your schedule is. But in terms of the ultimate strategy, I love thinking about something, executing that, and then being able to look back on it in like 3 months and see the results. That's super appealing to me.
Yeah.
And then I also love making people happy or making content that people watch in whatever way. Like, so yeah.
Yeah, man, you were partnered and everything, so you were really into it there for a while, huh?
Yeah, I was like the fourth or fifth biggest Magic the Gathering streamer for a while. Magic the Gathering's not a huge game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not a huge game. There are probably only maybe 1,500 concurrent viewers at any given time.
Mm.
1,500 to 5,000 depending on the time of day and whatever. So not a huge game, which really helped like grow quickly.
Mm.
And because there weren't as many viewers, like there wasn't a lot of money involved. So at some point I was like, wait, I'm making almost $0 and I'm streaming for 7 hours a day and it wasn't worth it.
Yeah, that is a lot. That is a lot. I do a lot of
Yeah.
smaller streams, so I have a lot of fun with it though, man. It's crazy, and I think like with tournaments with Age of Empires is is mainly what I do. There's a lot of people that are like of the lower skill level that want to play in those type of things. So that's really where I've like met most of everybody that is in the Discord and everything. It's been a lot of fun. We'll see what comes in the future, and messing around with this podcast a little bit, man. It's been interesting to say the least. I don't know.
Yeah, well, the Age of Empire stuff, like I've sort of been thinking about it also because there's a really easy hack if you want to be like the number one Age of Empire streamer on Twitch now that T90's gone, which is you figure out how to raise $50,000 and then put on a tournament series. What? No, you're laughing, but like that's an actual like you could actually do that, and it probably makes money. Like if you go, we're
Yeah,
just getting straight into it, so tell me when to stop.
no,
Um,
go for it, man.
but if you do, you know what? Like, have you been on like Sully Gnome and like do you know what that website is?
Nope, no
Oh,
clue.
so it's a website where you can track hour by hour. You can probably even track minute by minute, like how many viewers are on which Twitch streams and stuff like that. And then if you sort of know stuff, you can infer how much advertising dollars somebody could make or subscription dollars somebody could make. Um, and dude, I mean, those tournaments make a lot of money.
Oh yeah, I
There's a
believe it.
reason. There's a reason that T90 is like a multi-millionaire. You know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm as like laid back when it comes to streaming as you can be. Like for me, it's 100% a hobby, and it's like a game that I've
Yeah.
enjoyed since I was a kid. So like for me, like I don't even look at it. Like all of the money that I've made on Twitch has gone directly into prize pools for the tournaments that we have. Like,
Yeah.
and that's all it is for me. Like, I would love to do more someday, maybe. But I got three kids, man. Like, it's definitely
Yeah.
not top priority. But yeah, it's interesting though. You have to send me that website. I'd be interested to take a look. Just curiosity, man. But with your streaming, you
Yeah.
said
Unfortunately. Oh, go ahead.
I say with your streaming, you were doing like 7 hours a day. You said.
Well, I don't do anything halfway, which is a problem for me for sure.
Fair enough.
I don't know how much you or your viewers deal with like mental health stuff. I feel like all of us 20 to 30 somethings on the internet do, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm not good at going halfway. So what I did is I basically did what I'm like I hacked it. So I figured, okay, Magic the Gathering, there was one really big North American streamer and there was one really big French streamer and that was about it. And there were those two streamers, and then there was someone in the middle of the night. sorry, two big North American streamers, and there was someone sort of in like the middle of the night East Coast time, but that was about it. But because Magic's such a widely played game, they have tournaments all over the world. They have like four big tournaments a year. Only one is in the U.S. So because it's so
Mm.
widely played, I was like, wait, there are no big name streamers between like 2 a.m. and 10 a.m. Eastern time. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not streaming at 2 a.m. That's ridiculous. But if I sleep from like 9 p.m. to 3 a.m., I could stream from 4 to 10. I could log off at 10:30. The French guy starts streaming at 10 a.m. Eastern, and then the American guys stream from like 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. one of them, and the other one streams from like 6 p.m. to 1 a.m.
Mm.
So I could basically corner the market. Um, and yeah, like my first few months were, 10 viewers, 20 viewers, whatever.
Yep.
But then you figure out, when there's only five streamers, if you just have like a good title and you're kind of fun and you have, a good broadcast setup, people are going to watch you. So yeah, I just sort of hack like, yeah, I mean, it was just a hack basically. I don't know how good I was, but it was just like, okay, well, if I'm the only person to watch and there are a lot of people that want to watch Magic, you're just going to get 400 viewers or something. So that was kind of it.
Yeah, I mean that's a great idea. It really is, especially if like
I'm
you
telling you, the
said.
tournament idea is brilliant.
I don't doubt that, but there's no way I'm gonna raise that kind of money. So maybe someday we'll see. But no, I mean that's crazy, dude. Like it's interesting too that like it was like small enough that you could like fill in that gap and like pull those kind of viewers in just because there wasn't really anyone else around. Like it's crazy. Like especially now, like with present day streaming, like there's so many people streaming to like less than five viewers and it's just nuts. And I don't know anything about Magic the Gathering. I know what it is. That's about it. But it's insane. Have you followed the scene? Or like those guys still around that were there back then?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them, Magic the Gathering is a card game, so a lot of them make their money from basically like writing for a website, and then like a lot of the pros like write for websites, and those websites sell cards. So since the cards are so valuable, there's it's not just that MTG, like the company that makes the cards, pays people.
Mm.
People can also get like outside sponsorships. Age is not that way, right? There's like one company that makes the game. Nobody else makes money on the game. It's not like I can go into like a Toys
Yeah,
R
I
Us
mean,
and buy the game, you know?
yeah, I
So
mean,
it's,
there's
yeah.
like, I guess Steam probably is the only other one because Steam and like the Microsoft Store. But like otherwise, yeah, I don't think that anyone else sells it. So,
Yeah, so there's a lot more people like doing Magic the Gathering related stuff professionally
mm.
because they own a card store or they run a tournament series or something like that. But yeah, so those people are still doing it. But yeah, I mean, I think in most of these, even in Age, you could figure out a way to hack it. Like, so I actually did a YouTube series every day for a month and I got like 7 viewers. And then I wrote a Reddit post that went semi viral and got
Mm.
like 100 viewers. And then I basically just did giveaways weekly on YouTube to get like as many like people to know me as possible. So then when I transitioned to Twitch like 2 months later, when people saw me in the directory, they like sort of already knew me. And then obviously, as you know, like in Twitch, once you're on the top spot, you just kind of like snowball from there, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you started on YouTube and then transitioned to Twitch.
Yeah, because I was in high school, or in high school and college, I was playing Magic the Gathering. I was like going to tournaments and stuff to try to make a little bit of money because I was a broke college kid. And then,
Sure.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's a reason I have like a podcast studio in my office. I like this kind of thing. So yeah,
Yeah, man, it's been fun. I mean,
ultimate.
this is as short run as possible, and I'm the only one really behind it at this point. I mean, I've had some ideas from some of the previous guests, and like they've pitched in a few things here and there, but I don't know. Ultimately, they all were like, just take it and run with it. And I was like, all right, well, that sounds fun. Let's do it. Like, what the hell? And it's just me in the bunker down here, man, just chilling, talking to people. So it's been fun.
What are your podcast plans? What are your long term podcast plans?
Right now it's just keep going, talking to people, have some fun, and pull in as many like people that are interested in coming on and other content creators. And I don't know, I just enjoy having conversations with people like this where we just talk openly about whatever, and chill. Like nothing like stressful. Just have a conversation. Like, I you and I have played some Age of Empires together, but like as of today, this is the first time I'm actually seeing your face. So like, it's cool.
Bro.
It's nice.
Yeah. Have you thought about having like pro players on and stuff?
Yeah, a little bit, but right now I'm still kind of figuring everything out with every like thing that I need to like do, and like I
Hmm.
said, I have wife, 3 kids. Like this is as
Yeah.
part time as it can get around here,
Makes
Um,
sense.
but there's a lot of stuff coming up soon that's gonna be changing for me. That's all I'm gonna say on the matter at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be completely different than what my lifestyle is right now. So
Okay.
it's gonna be
Good,
nuts.
good luck. Hope it works out.
Yeah. I mean, so far all is well. But I mean, as far as like that goes, like you can do so much with online presence of any kind. Like if you like really enjoy it and like improve it, like your craft, like I think you can definitely take it places. It's just how much you're willing to put into it and what that niche is really.
100%. And even in like the Age of Empire space, right? Even in a space this small,
Hmm.
there are there there are room there's room for so many people to make a career out of this. Like even with the podcast thing, right? So, 10,000 people, probably more to be honest, like watch a Red Bull or watch Hidden Cup and they see all these players. But if you type in like the Viper AoE interview or AoE podcast into YouTube, there's like one podcast he did probably with like sort of bad mics and okay, it was okay, like it's a podcast done like once a week and they're like only 18 episodes and you know what I mean? So like
Sure.
I think there's like like if someone just started interviewing all the top pros, I think there's like huge room for that. Again, like if somebody wanted to actually do a business and take out a $50,000 loan from a bank, like you could run a really successful tournament series. Like Jordan is doing that bi-weekly tournament. Have
Hmm.
you seen this, the ladder
Yep.
thing?
Yep. The what does he call it? Oh, I'm gonna have to look it up. It's something I forget the name of it honestly, but it's on AoE Zone, so I can pull it up real fast. But yeah, I watched the first one. There's so many tournament announcements, it's crazy. The Resurgence is what he's doing right now.
Yeah, it's sort of a bad name, but whatever. Shout out
Oh,
to Jordan because it's a sick idea.
yeah, it's a great idea, and it's between May 7th, May 22nd. It's a $10,000 tournament. Crazy. But I mean, I know there is like at least one guy. I don't know if you remember him from back in the day, but Mazmora is his name that he goes by
No.
on Age of Empires. He is doing like Age of Empires podcast kind of deal. So he's kind of like
Oh, okay.
stepped into that. And it's been enjoyable. I would definitely check it out if I were you.
Okay.
But
I will.
as far as like your guys' podcast, you said you do podcasts for like baseball and stuff previously. Um,
Yeah.
I mean that's awesome, man. Like said, you guys are doing like a youth league podcast kind of deal, getting people into baseball. And
Yeah. So my dad has coached Little League here in Manchester, Connecticut for I don't know. I'm 29 now, so he's coached since I was 10, so like almost 20 years.
hmm
And 4 years ago we started a travel baseball team. So you obviously have kids, so I assume they're not of like age to play travel baseball yet, but I know you're into baseball and I'm sure they will play when they're of age. But a lot of kids they don't just play little league anymore, or like Cal Ripken or whatever we played when we were kids. They want to play travel ball also. So we started a nonprofit. So basically, like a lot of the travel ball teams are for profit. They try to make a profit. We wanted to be able to be afforded by everybody. And then 4 years later, we have a group of kids that make it to the Little League World Series. So we had a team in Williamsport last year, and after that, we were like, whoa, like how do we broadcast this to get more kids to want to play in our league? And we were like, oh, a podcast's a good idea. So yeah, that's how it came to be.
yeah, dude, that's crazy. All the way to the Little World Road Series. Jeez,
Yeah, it was sick.
that's
We
awesome.
ran so hot. We got so lucky. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have cable television anymore, but I always used to enjoy watching like the highlights for the Little League World Series. Like it was just crazy to see like kids like of that age like making it to like a national spotlight for baseball. Like it's amazing. I mean,
If you have ESPN Plus, you can go back and watch all the games.
oh yeah, that's probably
Team
something I should
Connecticut,
look
yeah.
into. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
interesting.
definitely don't watch our game against Hawaii. That was
It's the first one I'm
terrible.
watching now.
Nope, definitely don't watch that one.
Fair enough, fair enough.
But yeah.
Yeah, man, baseball's insane. Like, it's such a great sport. I love it, but I know a lot of people are leaning more towards football and basketball nowadays. But it's a shame because baseball is a magnificent sport. So,
Youth baseball is just so good too. Like I watch the least amount of MLB of any of the like even five. Like I watch more professional soccer. I actually have season tickets to professional soccer. I watch more of that than I watch MLB. But youth baseball is just such a different game. Like you can like I was at a game I was at my cousin's high school game and they played 7 innings in like an hour and 25 minutes. And it was like an 8-5 game. Like it was a high scoring game. And they
yep.
just played it so quickly. And at that age, it's so fun because like as a coach, first of all, the game moves fast. And then as a coach, you feel like you have all this ability to like change the game or, make decisions that will impact the game and stuff like that. I do feel like watching professional baseball is kind of boring though. It takes so effing long, but yeah.
I love it. I'm still into it. I can't help it. But no, that's definitely awesome, man. Like, especially that you guys did it as a nonprofit. Like, that's got to be like a huge achievement for you guys in that
Yeah.
industry. I mean, just not something that you hear of often at all, really. So,
No, we're trying to also parlay that. Like part of the reason we're doing the podcast and stuff is to kind of put pressure on our town because we want them to give us like a free piece of land so that we can build a training facility.
hmm
Um, as I said earlier in the podcast, when I do something, I do it way too hard usually. So, we're trying to really use that experience to be able to push Manchester, Connecticut baseball further. So we'll see how far all that stuff goes. But yeah, I mean, it was a once in a lifetime opportunity that I'm never going to get to do again, but was super awesome.
I mean, never say never, man.
I don't know. It's hard. You have to beat 100 teams in Connecticut, and then you have to beat the best team. They just changed it actually. So now we used to play Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, Massachusetts, Rhode Island. You had to be the best out of that bunch. But
hmm
now we're in the New Jersey, New York group, and New
Oh,
Jersey and New York are significantly better at baseball than like Rhode Island. So
hmm
yeah, it's going to be kind of hard. We'll see.
Oh, hey, you never know. Never know.
It's true.
I mean, this is definitely like it's a challenge, and it's gonna keep you guys busy. But hey, you made it once. I mean, you got a group of kids that can hit the ball, and you never know. Baseball, man.
Yeah, we got so lucky. Oh, unbelievable.
I mean, the anticipation's like most of my favorite thing about baseball. Like waiting, like for that next pitch. Like if some like just picture like a pitcher going late in the innings, and like you're like, all right, he's got a no hitter going, or he's like going for a shutout, and he's just like
Yeah.
doing amazing. Like that anticipation, like every pitch to me is like amazing entertainment. But maybe that's just a few people in the world. I don't know.
Yeah, as a coach, it takes years off my life. But
Fair enough.
the best part of those situations is like when you have a kid, and this obviously doesn't happen often with kids, but when you have a kid that can execute on what your game plan is,
hmm
um, and when you're able to like kind of, it feels like a video game sometimes where you're like able to call an outside fastball and some 11-year-old hits the spot, and then you're able to call like an inside curveball and he hits the spot, and you're able to, yeah, it can feel like a video game at some point, and that's like the coolest part for sure.
I bet. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, it's definitely like I don't get to see it the game that way, so just spectator over
Yeah,
here. But maybe when my kids are older,
you'll
um,
coach them, I'm sure, right?
I would love to.
Coach Juicy.
I don't know. I don't know what the needs are around here though. So that would be
Uh,
the only question. Like I mean, you said your dad's been doing it for like 20 years. So like,
yeah.
and there's I don't know. We have a whole park that's literally just baseball fields. Like
Oh, that's sick.
like there's like I think 6 fields, and then there's 2 at the park as well. But obviously those are like we have those more for like high school and like middle school level children.
Hmm.
kids. So there's a
Yeah.
lot of baseball around here. So I don't know. It seems it depends, I guess, on the availability for that job. You know.
Yeah, usually little league always needs coaches because if there's 12 kids on a team and there's like one of the kids' dad is the head coach, like there's not going to be like four other dads that all want to also like be there at every practice and every game and like deal with the parents who yell at you for like not playing their kid enough, so
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure that's
not a
frustrating.
yeah, not a job that's too difficult to get, I would imagine.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, when they're old enough. I mean, my oldest is just about to turn 7, so we're getting there. We're getting there.
Almost T-ball, or probably is T-ball age.
Yeah, I think so. We'll see. Um, but
Yeah.
time will tell. I don't like to force them into anything either.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I like them to actually have an interest in it. You know what I mean? So
Oh, sure.
we'll see what happens there. But I mean, it would be awesome. I'd love to do it for sure. I think it'd be very rewarding. So
Yeah, it's a good gig. It depends. Like I'm I think I'm really good at the kids part. I don't think I'm very good at the interacting with adults part of the whole job.
fair enough.
So, like yeah, I'm definitely much better at interacting and relating to kids than I am adults. So sometimes the parts of the gig that get me are like having to deal with terrible parents or terrible whatever, but it is very rewarding, as you said.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, we'll shift gears here and get kind of back into more like the YouTube businessy side of things here,
Yeah.
marketing, whatever. So with your stream and everything, you kind of looked at it from like a almost like an analytical like side of things. Would you
Yeah.
say that's pretty much what you explained to me? Just kind of summing it up as like an analytical approach.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly. I was just like, how do you get the most viewers? How do you do it like quickly and efficiently? And then I kind of went about it that way for sure.
Yeah. So, like, given that you made it all the way to Twitch partner, what would be like something that you would like think that people would know that they just don't do nowadays? Is that like it, or do you think like there's a lot of other like things that are like compounded into that?
Like how to get to Twitch partner? Like what are people not doing, you mean?
Yeah. Like we see YouTube videos and people doing videos like that all the time. Like being someone that made it, like what do you think like is something that people are lacking to do that now?
Oh, well, I mean, some people just don't have it, right? Like, you have to be able to talk and be entertaining and be watched and whatever. Like, you have to.
Mhm.
You don't have to be the best at it in order to make money or make a living. You for sure don't. But you have to, like, some people just won't have it, right? Some people will turn on the mic and they'll turn on the camera and whatever it is, whether it's their looks or their voice or their brain or their whatever, they just won't have it.
Yeah.
But if you do have it and you put in the effort, like the work,
Yep.
there's no way it won't happen, I think.
Gotcha.
Like I'm confident that if someone gave me like a bet, if someone was like, I'll give you, they would have to make it worth my while at this point. But if they, it was just such a grind, man. It's so much work. But if they were like, hey, but if someone was like, oh, I bet you that you can't, get Twitch partner again. Even if I didn't get to pick the game, even if they picked the game and I had like a year, like I think I could do it a very large percentage of the time because it's just all effort. As long as you have the thing that makes people not immediately turn off your stream, as long as you're entertaining enough and you're, as dumb as this sounds, like good looking enough and your voice sounds good enough, like those as long as you have those three things
Mm-hmm.
and you put in the effort, you like can't fail, I don't think.
Yeah.
But people stream like 3 hours a day and they expect to become Twitch partner.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing? Like
Yeah.
I was literally waking up at 3 a.m. Eastern time to be able to stream at a time where no other big streamers were there so that I would get to the top of the Twitch page so that I would get more followers. I would grow at like an abnormally large rate so that then I could push my stream into daytime. Like that's the kind of work this entails. You can't just like stream 3 hours a day and be like, I don't know what happened, bro. It's like, come on, dude. Get out of here.
No, I feel like that's like like what you said translates to a lot of other things as well, not just like streaming or video game play online. Like if you like work at a craft or a skill, like you're going to excel at that. And if you put all of your cards on the table and dive in, like you can definitely do whatever it is that you're trying to do. Like at least I think so. You know, like if you're into like carpentry construction and you want to like become like the best cabinet builder that you can be, like sure, like if you put all the effort and time into it, like absolutely, you know. But yeah, I agree. Like I'm on like Reddit a lot, and I see like people on the Twitch subpage like asking for help, and they're like, I stream for 2 hours, and you know I have like my images, and I'm like, well, most of the big streamers stream for like 8 hours or more. Like there are like it's crazy. Like me, like I stream a lot as far as like days, but like it's like 2 3 hour streams. Like, but for me, it's just a hobby. So like I'm not like, oh, I didn't get partner yet. Shucks.
Yeah, but if you look at somebody, again, and I wasn't able to make a living out of it, even though I guess at some point that was my goal. And the reasons for that are whatever. I'm not perfect. I did some stuff wrong. Like I was able to get my stream to maybe 250 average viewers, but 250 average and partner isn't enough to be full time unless you live in a place where cost of living is really low. So, I'm not saying that if you follow my advice, you're going to be the biggest streamer because everyone has a ceiling and you're going to make mistakes along the way and whatever. But if you look at someone like the Viper, he's live for 30, 35 hours a week.
Mm-hmm.
He answers emails. He does team GL meetings. He 100% practices behind the scenes for every tournament.
Yep.
Like he might be doing his Twitch stream / AOE / YouTube stuff. I'm sure he has a YouTube editor he has to manage. I'm sure he has whatever he has to manage behind the scenes. He might be working 70 hours a week. And you think that you're going to stream 3 hours a day and like get to that level? Stop. Like, no, no chance.
Yeah, it's crazy. It really is. Like the fact, like I don't edit a lot of these things that I post on YouTube, just sheerly because, like I said, this is my hobby. Like this is for fun. Like, like this is enjoyable for me. Like, and I have another like whole other job and everything else I do for 50 hours a week. That like
for sure.
But like if I was like die hard trying to make it, like I would definitely put like way more effort into stuff like that and like try to like enhance everything to the point where it was like, top tier quality. But like, yeah, it's nuts. Like, I mean, can you imagine doing 70 hours a week like that? Like, just, I can't even process it in my brain right now. Like,
well, that's why I said I'd have to be paid a lot of money to try and do it again because it was a disaster. But you hear stories all the time from people that run their own business. It's like, okay, I own my own pizza restaurant and it's great and I make enough money to feed my family, but instead of working 40 hours a week, I have to work 80.
Mm-hmm.
So unfortunately, it's not just a job where you have a boss and they tell you what to do and you execute that task and they pay you for it. It's like you are your own boss, so you have to do the job of the worker, which is streaming 40 hours, but then you have to do the job of the boss, which is you have to do all the taxes and do all the emails and do all the responding to people and doing all the stream setup and getting it on and getting your clips on YouTube and growing your social media. So it's a lot. Yeah.
Well, then you have to like plan for the future at the same time. Like what's like the next like innovative step that you're going to like take to try to like push your name and your brand like past a certain point that you're at now. Like an astronomical amount of work. It's really crazy. And I mean, a lot of people use like Fiverr and Upwork and places like that for like small like odds and ends jobs to like get like streamer like images and like stuff like that. And like there's so much that like, I mean, I still can't comprehend it all. Like it's crazy how much you'd have to do. Like 70 hours a week sounds like it's not even going to be enough in my head.
Yeah, it might not be. What did Nilly? I don't know how much you watch his YouTube stuff, but he was talking about N4C, like his AOE 4 tournament he did, and he was like, I almost broke down. It was like 100-hour weeks because he was streaming full time still. So maybe he streamed less. Maybe he streamed 25, 30 hours a week. I didn't watch. But then he's organizing a whole tournament behind the scenes. It's actually insane. Like,
no,
I don't know. It's more than a full-time job, and you're going to work 100 hours a week. And if you just like got 40 hours a week at like a plumbing gig, like you'd probably actually make more money. So it's just, yeah, it's insane.
And be less stressed out about everything at that point, like because you're just there to do the job. You're not there to like run the show and
Yeah.
manage everything. But yeah, I mean it's absolutely insane. And like some of these streamers, man, like they pull in an astronomical amount of views and put out crazy amounts of content. It's just like I know I watched Joe Rogan's podcast where Mr. Beast was on it. He's like, I have 4 teams. Like they make a
Yep.
video a month. Like and like you see the success he has, like and there's no way he would be there without doing something like that crazy, like big, like 100 plus people probably he's employing. Like it's absolutely crazy to think about, but
Yeah, no, even somebody like we talked about him earlier, but even someone like Tristan, like T90, maybe he doesn't have, you know, more than one full-time employee, but I would guess he has a few people he's paying monthly to do whatever job he needs, like in terms of tournament organization, graphics, even moderation. Like obviously mods are normally not paid, but when you're that big, you probably have to. It's so much work. And look, I mean, in the Age of Empires scene in particular, like there are at least 3 millionaires. There may be more. I don't know how much everybody gets paid, but you can kind of figure it out. Hera
mhm.
spilled the beans on his thing a few times, so who knows now that he's a LOL pro. Um, but you can get to the point where you have a 7-figure bank account. But again, like the Viper, it's not like he works 70 hours a week now. It's like, what about all the time as a kid he spent playing for 10 hours a day, probably? Like, and then after school, he probably came home after school and played from 6 to midnight and barely got sleep and then went to middle school or whatever. Like,
Oh yeah.
it's, if you count up the hours, it's an extremely crazy amount of work. It's insane.
Yeah, I
You have
mean,
to really love it.
for sure, for sure. I mean, even like the tournaments that we have about the Juicy 45 Discord, man, like we've like escalated this most recent one with the help of Jabari to like the biggest thing that we've ever done with like the most people participating that we've ever had, and like the prize pool is still like not like super big or anything, and it's been, I couldn't even tell you how many hours. Like I've casted every set, like every single one. This last bracket
That's
has,
crazy.
yeah, the last bracket has like it will be 51 sets in total by the time it's done, and we're almost there. And this is the third bracket, so it's been like 3 months of like constant casting and like behind the scenes answering questions. Like, I mean, it's crazy. Like, it really like compiles quickly and like stacks up much faster than you would anticipate.
Yeah, I have like dreams of running a Age of Empires LAN. I may do that at some point. I was really considering doing it before COVID. I mean, nobody knows me, so it'd be sort of impossible to do because you'd have to get like all these players to trust you. Although I guess if you buy them plane tickets, like what are they, you know what I mean? Like round trip plane tickets, and like you prove to them they have a hotel to stay at or whatever.
Hmm.
But I think there's such a hole. Like even as you said, you have all these people, all these plebs like me and you wanting to play in a tournament. Like, there's probably a way, if somebody wanted to do that, there's probably a way to monetize that. Like, I don't know
Hmm.
exactly how you do it. I don't know. You probably won't get enough views from like 1100s battling each other, but you could probably figure something out where like people, like, would I pay $5 to play in a tournament, like a 3v3 tournament? Where I get like more than one round and whatever, I probably would. Would I pay $10? I don't know. Like, people could probably figure out ways to do stuff like that. And then even if you didn't, again, like going back to the Jordan thing, what if you just did, I mean not you, but if I was getting back into streaming, it'd be like, okay, every Thursday between 11 a.m. EST and 7 p.m. EST, we're going to have a pro tournament. It's going to be a $500 prize pool. We're going to have like 8 people or whatever. And you'll get 3,000 viewers and you'll get all the pros to play. Like there's just so much room to be creative and do stuff. The tournament you're running, that works. I mean, 50 matches streamed. That's insane. You don't have to stream every one. You could just like stream some of them.
I could, but where's the fun in that? Like, I paid all this time into it. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, I enjoy casting these games as much as I enjoy playing the game. So
that's good.
it's for me, it's like I've always watched baseball and enjoyed like I'm a Cleveland Guardians fan, even though I hate the name Guardians at this point. But like I'm
Terrible.
from Ohio. I'm not too far from the area. I've gone to that ballpark countless times, and like listening to like the radio announcer or like even just the in-game announcers was always so enjoyable, and like it's kind of what translated into like the whole idea for casting for me. Like a lot of these players don't have like the opportunity for people to be involved like that, and like get their games casted, and it's really been a lot of fun. I actually think that it's been more rewarding for me than probably the people that are actually getting the games casted and stuff, just because I enjoy it so
Okay.
much. So
What's the hardest part been?
the scheduling, like getting people in for certain time frames, and like obviously this is like a working man's tournament, so a lot of these
Yeah.
people have jobs, and like we give extensions for like time frames, and then like eventually that you can't extend anymore. I mean, and then you have to make like the hard decision of like if you can't play by this date, like we have to give the other guy an admin win, like, and that sucks, But like that is probably my most frustrating situation. Other than that, like spoiled Rex, because everything I cast is from Rex. So like whenever
Yeah.
people don't put like all of the proper information in there, that's like really like frustrating. Like it's like we've laid this out. Like come on, guys. Like we're not asking for much over here. you know.
Yeah, I can imagine that. How did you your Discord is like huge now. Is that just like how did you
It
is that
is.
just from the tournaments or what is that from?
Yeah. Believe it or not, this Discord is only like 3 years old, and we
Okay.
have like 500 members in it now, which isn't like
Whoa.
huge compared to like obviously like people who do this full time. But I feel like for a part timer such as myself, just doing this as a hobby, it's just massive. And I feel like we have good interaction. Like a lot of people are on here daily, if not weekly,
Yeah.
and would like to do more with it, to be honest. That's kind of a goal of mine, is to make more things happen in the Discord specifically. Believe it or not, most of the people that have gotten to this Discord come through Reddit, like through the
That's how I got
tournaments.
here.
And yeah, man, like that. Reddit is magic. That's public forum that a ton of people use. I mean, there's like over 100,000 people in the AoE2 subreddit alone. Like, so to have 500 people and to have so many people that keep showing up every day or every week, and if not, like some of these guys pop in like once or two times a month and that's it, like, which is cool, as long as they find some value in it and enjoy it. I mean, Age of Empires released a new DLC today, and there's been like tons of conversation. I haven't even caught up on all of it because I was busy working, and
Yeah.
like now I have to go back through after this probably and read through it and like make some comments and like talk about it. Like I've barely looked at the new civs. Like it's gonna be interesting, but I don't know, man. Like I said, like it's been really enjoyable, and like I've had like a lot of great conversations with people lately. Like just off camera, off stream, everything. Like and like some people, like this Discord has meant a lot through COVID, man. Like just having a place to go was like an outlet to just like talk to somebody that they don't have to see every day in their life, and can like just
For
talk about
sure.
anything, and people just listen and play and have fun. So
Oh, playing at night is like I look forward to it like all day sometimes. Like if I know that I'm gonna have time to play at night, it sounds so sad, but it's like, well, maybe it's
I
not
feel
sad,
you.
but it's like, oh my god, I got to like talk to these people that I sort of know, and it's super fun and lighthearted, and nobody like gets mad at anyone, and we're all kind of friends in this weird way, like I'm sure if you like even before this conversation, if you ever called me and you were in Connecticut, like why wouldn't I like go out to lunch with you, like
Yeah,
whatever, like I'm sure we'd have a great time, it's a really cool space that you've cultivated.
yeah. I feel like my interaction with everyone is very like low key, and like no one's like, oh, it's juicy 45, like, oh my god. And that's how I want to
Yeah,
keep
you
it.
don't want
Like,
that.
no,
Yeah,
I don't want
exactly.
that at all. Like, I mean, I had like when I was casting with Jabari, we were casting a game and T90 popped in, and like Jabari like insta went on like a, oh my god, this is T90 in here, like holy
Oh,
crap, like I could
and
hear
he
it in
left
his voice.
immediately.
No, he was still there, but it was funny because I was like, "Chill, man. He's just another guy." But no, it was funny, um, and probably wasn't even obvious to like everyone else, but like I have like even like our audio right now, you're boosted in my ears, like
Okay.
compared to like what's actually going out to everyone, just so like I can make sure that I hear like people talking over games, and I just haven't changed that for this purpose. I probably
Yeah.
should, but that was really entertaining to me. Um, but no, I mean it's been a lot of fun. I've had conversations with people all over the world that I would have never thought that I'd have a conversation with somebody in
Yeah.
Chile. Well, I would have never met anyone in Chile otherwise, or
It's insane.
Australia. Like, unless one day I was able to go there, like I probably would have never had a conversation with someone from Australia. Like, it's cool. Like, and like I've had some great conversations like with those people, just like about like their world, you know. So
Yeah. Something that I think would be cool on your Discord if you're taking suggestions is um I would think about running like a like one night a week, like running like a 3v3 or 4v4 like league.
yeah,
Because I think it's really cool when we all play team games. And sometimes we have like 8, 9, 10, 12 people playing team games. And it's like, okay, so we're going to load up this team game, this 4v4. We're going to like wait for 3 minutes for AoE2 to find someone, other team to play with. And then half the time the game just isn't competitive, whether like we smash or they smash or like someone DCs or someone like Q jumps. Like how like it would be super cool if everybody knew, okay, Thursday is like league night, there are like 4 teams of 5 people, we're playing like 3v3s, and like it goes to some standings that at the end of the year win like some meaningless prize that people care about for no reason. Like I don't know, that would be sick.
I mean, I've thought about it. I have. The issue that I've come across every time I try to think about it is how do I balance it? Because a lot of these guys have been like all over the place in Elo. Like we've had like
Yeah.
1,000 Elo players playing with like 1,600 Elo players like in team games, which makes it really out of balance, and which is probably why the issue is there for some of those games. But like I'm trying to figure out something similar to that we can do, but right now I've got like no answers for that. Like it's a shame, because it would
Yeah,
be fun. Like
that's
I'm
an issue.
trying to figure out like because within Age of Empires there's like a bunch of clans, like, and I've never really like I have my own clan just simply for making inviting people so much easier. I don't have to type in a
Yeah.
million names. Uh,
Yeah.
but like I know like we've had like some clan members from other clans like in the Discord playing team games with us and stuff, and I've been thinking about like trying to get something together where we play clans in like a league style team game setting, which could be cool. But we'll see. We'll see. There's a lot of ideas, a lot of things coming up. I mean, it's gonna be interesting for sure, but we'll have to keep thinking about some things there. It could be fun.
Yeah, no, that's definitely the hardest part because if you have like a 1,600 and a 1,000 on a team against two 1,300s, like mathematically that's even, but the two 1,300s just never have a chance ever.
Yep.
So even, as good as the ELO system is, that definitely makes it very difficult to figure out. So I can imagine that would be hard for sure. But I even like when there's like 8 people and we try to figure out how to make it relatively even, and then we just like play team games from there, or like your show matches when we get to play 2v2 show matches and stuff like that's always super fun for me. So I don't know how
Oh
to do
yeah.
that more, but that's a blast.
Well, there will be more things coming with 2v2s for sure. That's definitely already in the works. You played in one of those show matches recently. I believe was it last month, something
Yep.
like that, and that was mostly for balance purposing to check out the
Mm.
maps because there's some new maps mixed in there. And I believe I gave you guys like a limited pool, so you were forced to play on some maps that you probably wouldn't have played on in general.
We were forced to play new maps. Yep.
Yep, yep. So that was all somewhat of a balance test. So
Fair enough. We had T Panel and I had a very good strategy, which was attack Weasel. He's gonna whine, and then his teammate's gonna get annoyed at his whining, and then we're somehow gonna win. That was our strategy, and I think it worked out well.
yeah. I mean, it was fun. I enjoyed watching that and casting it. It was a blast actually, and I love the custom map situation we have in this
Yeah.
Discord. Like, I mean, Arabia's a fine map, guys. Don't get me wrong, but I have played probably 800 matches on Arabia, and I've watched probably another 2,000 matches on Arabia. Like, I don't
Yep.
want to just do the same old thing. I don't want to just do Arabia all the time. Like, I know we've had some fun with Arena in this Discord lately. It's been a lot of like Arena closed map kind of shenanigans going on for people. But like, I want water maps. So I live in a world by myself, essentially.
Yep. True. Whenever we play team games, Juicy is the one guy out of the four that's like, "Can we unban islands?" And everyone else is like, "Get out of here."
Yep. Yeah. It's unfortunate. I think Islands play is probably one of my favorite things about the game too. But you do what the people want, you know.
Yeah.
We do community games every now and again. We haven't been doing it too consistently with all these tournaments going on, but that'll be making its way back around here. We did play them last week, so I don't know, man. It's all things looking up and towards the future with everything around here, man. Just trying to get people involved in any way possible and try to keep it like a competitive but friendly competitive like mood in the Discord, you know?
Do you have any do you have any Twitch or marketing your Twitch or Discord related questions?
Not really at this time, man. Like I have like a lot of ideas and stuff, but again, like I got no time. Like working full-time job, I'm a warehouse manager, so like
Yeah.
I have so much going on with all of that that by the time I get home and I have my 3 kids and the wife, like we have so much to do, like just before bedtime today. Like right now we're shooting this at like a random time in the middle of the day that would never be free for me. But luckily, like my wife and her friends are getting all their kids together at like the park.
Great.
Like like so that's like why we're able to do it at this time, you know. So like I mean, I will definitely think about doing some more stuff with that here pretty soon, probably. But
Yeah.
for the most part, it's just time restraint that is not really. I can't really like go into like details with everything, but like I can't like commit fully to this kind of thing right now, you
For
know.
sure. For
So
sure. No, it's super difficult. It's cool that you're having fun with it though. Like, I don't know. I mean, I obviously have the setup, so I guess I could just turn on the stream whenever I want. But if I wasn't like pushing towards something, like if I wasn't like trying to get more viewers or trying to do something, I don't know if that would interest me as much. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
I love playing Age because it's super competitive, and so I can like try to win, but also have fun with like wacky strategies or whatever. But like if I'm streaming, like, am I streaming to win? Because if so, then I'm gonna want to stream more than like 3 hours a day, and then I'm gonna go crazy again, and then I'm gonna get burnt out, and then I'm gonna stop again. So, it's yeah, I don't know. It's cool that you can like do that in a small dose and still love it.
yeah. I mean, well, I mean, I'm truly probably what they would classify as a video game addict, as much as I play Age of Empires, but. Maybe it's just an Age of Empires addict, to be honest, but that's okay too. But I don't let it interfere with like IRL things. You know, it's just like
Yeah.
when I have the time, and if I have to cancel something, like I'm not gonna stream that day. Like I'm gonna go do that. Like you know what I mean. So it's something. But let me flip the question around on to you here then. If
Yeah.
you were to market my stream or my Discord, what would you do? And let's not discuss money, just hypothetical.
What do you mean not discuss money?
Like how much it would cost me to have you market my stuff. Like just
Oh, I wasn't. No, I was never. Oh, okay, I wasn't going there. No, because it. Yeah, no, I would never do that for you. Although I should, Sam Rubin Twitch consulting coming soon. What would I do? Well, your brand is very different. You're a very community oriented brand.
Mm.
So I think what I would do if I was you is I think I would have a league that people pay to play in. That would be my first thing. I think I'd be like, okay, it's going to be $5 a month. I'm going to organize it. No one has to worry about organization. We're going to have a league. Because I know for sure, like, I would pay for something like that. Like, I think a lot of people would. I think a lot of people, even that just like get into your team games would like love to have a place where they knew that the elos were going to be balanced and they knew that people were going to be tryharding and they knew they could like get on voice and talk to their teammates. So
Yeah.
I think I'd do something like that, community oriented. And if you just like explained why you were taking the money, I don't think anyone would really care for, if you did a small amount. So I think I do something like that for sure, because you want to differentiate yourself. Like you're not going to be doing like pro hosted tournaments or whatever. And then if you wanted to be the guy with the wacky maps, obviously like, you work with Hitch a lot. So if you wanted to be the guy with the wacky maps, then, similar to like Mem, who does like King of the Desert, you do like King of the really dumb maps. And
Is that how you feel? Is that how you feel? The maps are
oh
that
my
bad?
god, sometimes no. The problem is I don't have like I have this thing. I don't think it's a disease, although I'm going to call it a disease, where I can't picture stuff in my head. So like if
Okay,
I close my eyes and try to think of like an orange, like I just see like the back of my eyelids.
certainly.
Like I guess like 10% of or 20% of people like have like can't see stuff in their head. So
Mm.
when I like load up one of your maps, like when I was playing with TPNL and I'm like loading it up, and then as soon as I exit out, I just totally forget what it looks like, and it's like, I'm just gonna rely on my partner to tell me what to do here because I don't know anything. Like if you watch that show match, I just like ran the wrong way. I forgot borders were in the middle of the map in the first map. I was
Yep.
like, where's my opponent? He's over here. Like I had no idea what was going on.
Gotcha,
But yeah, so
gotcha.
I would do something like that, like some league, and that's not going to make a ton of money obviously, but you'd want it to be community focused. um and then another idea from there, if you because if you had a big enough Discord, besides just people like paying to play for you to organize it, again I would do also like community map tournaments.
Mm.
That's what I would do. So I would give like people in the community are super, into whatever. So I'd let people from the community like pick the settings for a random tournament on like whatever. You pick the weekend or whatever. And then, you'd figure out how to get $1,000 for the tournament prize pool. And if you have $1,000, you're gonna get Viper, and it's at the right time. You're gonna get Viper to play, and you're gonna get Leary to play, and you're gonna get Yo to play, and you're gonna get Lex to play, and you're gonna get whoever to play. And what you could even do is you could match up what's going on in your league with the tournament that you're broadcasting. So you could have like league nights on Wednesday and Thursday nights or whatever, and you could, broadcast those on your Twitch, and you could have people playing in the league that they pay for, and then, it would almost be like a Patreon where they like donate to the Patreon every month and they get to play in your league games, and then they also get to vote for okay, yeah, this is a brilliant idea actually. I might steal this one. So you're going to have a Patreon. It's going to be like $5 a month whatever.
Yeah.
They're going if someone's a Patreon member, they get to play in league nights. And there'll be like random perks to league nights, like I don't know, like they get voting power. Maybe there's like a shirt they get, or a sticker they get, or
Sure.
something, or a shout out they get, whatever. You can figure that out. And then everyone that's also on the Patreon, besides just being able to play in league nights, they get to vote on the maps and the like settings for the tournament, like every 2 weeks. And every 2 weeks there'll be like a $500 prize pool and whatever. And obviously you have to fund the prize pool, but if you get enough viewers, it's easily funded.
Sure.
Yeah, that's how I would do it.
All right, all
I had
right.
to like think my way through it, but that's what I would do.
No, I mean you thought through it and it made a lot of sense actually. No, it's
Hey, there's
interesting.
probably 5 minutes of that you can cut where I'm just like talking in circles, but
No, I think it makes sense. Like I threw a question at you definitely didn't expect there, so it makes it real as possible. Um, well, that's an interesting take on it. Yeah, I mean, so far, man, everything that we've done is just like I said, we don't want to play Arabia all the time. So we had like Hitch got into making custom maps, and we ran with it, and we've thrown I don't even know how many tournaments at this point where it's been like custom maps for the most part, and it's just stuck, and people stick around, and it's worked out, and I don't know, it's interesting some of the points you brought up. It'll be fun. We'll definitely have to look into a few things, but yeah, man.
yeah, people that play on your Discord, I feel like, are people that play a lot of Age. Like, don't get me wrong, there's some people that just play campaigns all day and they're super happy, but
Yeah.
I feel like for the most part, like if you're playing team games, whenever we're in a team game together and we're like, and they were like, oh, I was playing earlier, but I was playing a 4v4 and this guy quit. Like you just have a terrible experience, like just playing random 2v2, 3v3, 4v4s on AoE. You just have an awful time if you're by yourself and not on voice with somebody. So
Yeah.
I feel like having a place where people can do that. And obviously you have a place where people can do it now, but maybe having it more organized so that people knew, okay, on Thursday, like people sort of know, okay, show up at 9 a.m. or 9 p.m. EST every night. And, for the last 2 months, games have been very consistent. But having a place where people know, like, okay, at these times, on these days, we're showing up, we're playing the maps that we want to play again, against people that it's going to be relatively even. Like, sure, they get cast, maybe that's a bonus or whatever. But I feel like having a space like that would be really cool. And then with the added perk of they get to vote, like, so not only do I get to play these like 5 cool maps this week and like team games that are like relatively balanced and competitive, but then I get to vote on which of those maps are going to be played by like the pros this week. That's so cool. Like, I don't know, I feel like that's yeah.
Yeah, that would definitely be very interesting. It would be something that I'm curious, like how many people would be interested in like paying to play in said league if that were to occur. And like you said, if it was cheap enough, like obviously a lot of people would probably do it. So it's interesting, definitely interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. Could you get like 20 people to pay $5, like $5 to a month to play in your leagues like twice a week? Probably. Could you get 40 people? Maybe. Like I don't know. Like I think it could work. It could happen.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely an interesting couple of thoughts there for sure. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, man. I mean, so between like everything going on here and this podcast and the Age of Empires stuff, it's been a blast. It's been good. I think, like I said, a lot of people have come together that probably would have never met otherwise, or maybe they would have. I don't know, but I find it unlikely. But yeah, man, it's like I said, you and I met, and now we've been sitting here talking on this podcast for almost an hour. Like,
Yep.
and it's been, I feel, a great conversation, and it's been fun. Is there anything like you want to like talk about off topic or random or anything?
No, I think I'm good. How many people watch these? Do you get millions and millions of viewers?
I would be quitting my job if that were the case. But
That's true.
right now it's I think like 30 right now. It's
That's
probably
awesome.
yeah. So hopefully it continues to grow and we can keep doing this kind of thing around here. I mean, right now it's just me, but I'd love to bring more people into it as far as like like guests. Like it'd be cool if we had like 3 people on here at once having a conversation or something to that effect. Or I really doubt an in-person thing would be possible just given everyone is spread out everywhere. But
Yeah.
it's been a blast, man. It's definitely something I've wanted to do for like probably 3 years and just never pulled the trigger on because of time constraints. And then I was just finally like talking to enough people around that I was like, I'm just gonna do this and we'll see how things go. So
Could we get enough people to go to like a Juicy 45 like meetup? It's like, hey, this one weekend in New Orleans, I'm gonna rent like this hotel room. Everyone's gonna bring their PC, or like you're somehow gonna round up like 8 PCs. We're gonna have a sick LAN setup.
Mhm.
You have to obviously buy your own flight there and whatever, but we're all gonna go and we're gonna play games all weekend, and it's gonna be sick.
Yeah, I mean, I've thought about that before, and there's a place that I
I'm
know.
in.
Sounds good. I'll let you know if it continues down that thought pipe. But like, there's a place in Columbus, Ohio, that is like it's built for like esports, and like you can rent out the facility.
Ooh.
Yeah, you can like
Yeah.
rent out the facility, and there's like I don't know 40 PCs in there, and then there's like a big game room where like like each team sits on either side, and there's like a
Yeah.
viewing audience bay, and like players are like near each other, kind of like any land where like the players are like on a stage and like
Hmm.
next to each other, but like obviously like spread apart, and like in the middle's like the screen. Like so, it's pretty legit. But I've definitely looked into it. It would definitely be something that would
How
interest
much
me in
is
the
it to
future.
rent?
More than I'd like to say on stream.
Oh, okay. No, I mean we'd all chip in. Obviously, you wouldn't just rent the whole thing. I would imagine
Yeah, but obviously like with
it's a few thousand. I'm sure.
yeah, easily.
Yeah.
But with like everyone like putting money up to like come in and like all that, like if I was gonna do it, I'd want to pay for the rental up front, like
No,
myself.
sure.
So, but
It'd be
maybe
super fun
someday,
though.
we'll see how things continue, and we'll see how things progress with everything. I mean, right now 30 viewers is awesome on these podcast episodes, but would be cool to one day hit a much larger number.
Yeah, you may. Who knows? Maybe you're the Joe Rogan of AOE. Could happen.
Maybe one day, but I think that guy had a little bit more going for him than I do, as far as like a public appearance and like people who knew him,
It's true.
But yeah, man. Well, thanks for coming on to the episode here and
Of course.
having a conversation with me. If you guys enjoyed this and are interested in seeing more, please do hit that subscribe button here on YouTube. Doesn't cost you anything. You get all sorts of notifications, and we'll maybe have you on the show. Just saying.
Who knows?
All right, guys. Have a good one, and we'll catch you on the next episode of the Juicy GG podcast. See ya.